Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you for joining us. Happy Friday. Yes, indeed, we're here. End of the week, another amazing day here upon us. Thank you so much for being here with us. Please, as always, let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. So glad to be here with you and bringing a brand new book from Debbie Min. And this one is called The Ouchiest Words. Yes, our words do matter. Our words are important. Thank you so much for joining in today, and we'll be enjoying this one together. Thank you so much for joining in, and glad you are here. Looking forward to this one indeed. But if you remember too, Debbie Min has brought us two amazing books before here on Story Time. And before that was the Squabble Sisters, and Debbie got to talk to us a little bit about that right here on Storytime. A beautiful book indeed. And also the very first one, the Yuckiest Lunchbox, was here too on Storytime. So yes, the third one from Debbie Min and brand new is out right now. So find it where you find books. Thank you so much for joining in, and welcome. I hope you're ready for this one today. Thank you for being here, and glad you're here with us. I hope that you've enjoyed this week, of course, with our amazing guest readers, Braylon and Chad, this past 2 days, and of course, amazing stories to share together. Thank you for being here, and welcome to Storytime. Out here in Oakland, still a little overcast, but it will be we'll be hitting a high of 82 thereabouts. And so it promises to be a nice, warm day. I hope that you are well where you are. How is it in your part of town? Thank you so much for being here. Happy Friday. And of course, you know when we're in the dancing mood, we know it's a Friday. Thank you so much for joining in, and I am glad that you are here. Good morning to you. How are you doing, Amanda Waldman? And of course, the sleepy Amanda, the very awake baby P. Thank you so much for joining in. Hopefully that little dance is waking you up as well some more. Thank you so much for being here. It's a cloudy morning out in Seattle, and you're hoping for some sunshine later today. Well, I hope that comes your way indeed. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and welcome. I'm glad that you are here. Marlon, how are you doing as well? Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, and happy Friday. How are you doing, Erin? And Clara, who's out at school right now, we're still sending you love, Clara. Thank you so much for joining in. It's sunny but chilly out in Massachusetts. Fall is coming. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Glad you're here with us. So is it winter is coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you indeed for joining in. How are you doing today? Tara, McNamara, and of course, Erin and Clara. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. Clara, I hope that you are well wherever you are at school, having fun. Thank you indeed. We miss you here on our lives. Thank you for being here. Pamela Courtney, how are you doing? You say still soaring high from the week's activities, as the feels from all the feels from Braylon and Chad and Auntie Pam, from sunny and warm Nucky Ouachita, Louisiana. Oh, this might be a free day for us today. Well, enjoy it. Enjoy Free Friday, and I hope that you get to do everything that your heart desires. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Indeed, Friday, good day to start slowing down, getting ready for the weekend. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you, Braylon and Chad. And Braylon, I hope that you're feeling a whole lot better today. I know yesterday you were a little under the weather. I hope that you're feeling well today. Sending you much love. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. Good morning to you, Soraya. Happy Friday. How are you doing today? And of course, good morning to you, Sharon Lungo. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I think we're all still waking up right now. Thank you for being here. And I'm glad indeed that we get to share this space together this lovely morning. And we do have a beautiful book to read together. And this one is called The Ouchiest Words. And this one is coming from Debbie Min and illustrated by PUTRI AYU SEKARMENTARI. Thank you so much for joining in and welcome. I practiced that name. I was hoping today would be smooth, but no. SEKARMENTARI. There we go. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and I'm glad that you are here. Get ready for this one, The Ouchiest Words. And this is the latest from Debbie Min. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Join me on the other side of this short break when we're back for our story for today. Go, 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 go. Get your snack right now. Happy Friday, everybody. Join me for Storytime after this short break. Thank you for being here with us. Absolutely appreciate you all.
Hi, friends. My name is Christy, and I am the author of A Heart in the Sand, also known as Un Corazón en la Arena. Now, this bilingual book is about tesoros, or treasures. And something that I treasure is my friendship with Mr. Lamada. So I have a challenge for you. Share this story time with someone who you treasure, and we can all spread the literary love.
Thank you indeed, and welcome back. I'm ready for a story. Thank you, thank you. And here we go. This one is called The Ouchiest Words, coming to you from Debbie Min, and illustrations by PUTRI AYU SEKARMENTARI. There we go, getting it nice and smooth. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I promise you I did practice, and then today it just went away. But here we go. The Ouchiest Words. And this one, let me just read to the back, just to give us also something to think about as we're reading the book. And Debbie Min in here says, 2 words have the power to hurt and to heal. You are strong. You matter. So remember that too. And it says, sometimes words hurt. When Nari boards the school bus after a great day, she doesn't expect to be bullied about where she comes from. In this powerful new children's book, Nari learns how to stand up to mean bullies and understand that everyone belongs here. Filled with warmth, empowerment, and lovable characters, The Ouchiest Words shows us all how to accept ourselves and fully embrace who we are. As Nari develops her confidence through positive affirmations and support from loved ones, author Debbie Min highlights the power that our words can hold. The second of the 2 books of self-esteem and acceptance, The Ouchiest Words celebrates children for who they are, allowing children all over the world to build a sense of belonging within their community, from building resilience to finding the courage to be ourselves. This heartfelt new children's book inspires kids to love themselves no matter what. That's our book for today. The Ouchiest Words. Here we go. Brand new from Debbie Min. Nari couldn't wait to tell her mom about the new words she could spell, such as birdhouse, butterfly, and her favorite, cupcake. What's your favorite word? She waved bye to her best friend Emily, got on the bus, and ran for a seat by the window. She was watching the kids play outside when a student named Zach tapped her shoulder. Is it a friend? You are Nari Choi, he asked. Like bok choy, Zach laughed. Isn't that a cabbage? Gross! Nari froze as her face turned red. She knew her Korean name sounded different, but was it really that weird? Nari, Nari, bok choy, bapi, Zaki chanted. Nari stayed quiet, but she was hurting inside. She blinked quickly to stop the tears. She wanted to be brave. Oh. Yeah. What would you do if you were there? At home, she told her mom about what happened on the bus and added, I don't like the name Choi. It sounded funny. It sounds funny. Her mom hugged her. Did you know that Choi means mountain in Korean? It's a powerful name for such a strong girl like you. Nari sighed. Do I have to go back to school tomorrow? Her mom kissed the top of her head. Yes, you do. But we can tell your teacher about what happened. Only you can decide if Zach's words can hurt you. Oh. The next day at school, Zach sang his mean song again and stretched his eyes like slants. My name is powerful. It means mountain, Nari yelled. Some of the kids laughed. Nari's heart pounded inside her chest as her embarrassment grew. Why were they being so mean? Why were they being so mean indeed? Nari ran to the bathroom to hide. She looked at her eyes in the mirror. They did look different, nothing like her best friend Emily's. Were her eyes bad? That night, Zach's words echoed in her head. Nari worried her entire class would laugh at her again. What if the entire school did? Nari, Nari, Papi, Pak Choy, Papi, it kept singing. That night, Zach's words echoed in her head. Nari worried her entire class would laugh at her again. What if the entire school did? Nari didn't want to go to school the next morning. But you love school, her mom said. Won't you miss art class and spelling? Nari shook her head. The kids always laugh at me, she whispered, because my eyes look different. Her mom sat down on her bed and said, do you know why I love your eyes? Because without them, you wouldn't look like you. They are a part of you and they make you special. You get to decide what makes you special. No one else. Aww. Later in the school cafeteria, Nari was worried that the kids would start the song again. But instead, they sang a mean song about her classmate, Patty. Patty, she's so Patty, they sang. Aww. Nari held her breath, waiting for Patty to cry, yell, or hide. Instead, Patty just kept eating her lunch. The kids sang again and again. But Patty did nothing. Aww. The kids chanted a few more times, then watched Patty and waited, but she just continued enjoying her lunch. This is boring. She's not crying. Let's go, Zach said as they all left. Nari sat next to Patty. Are you okay? Nari asked. Of course. Why do you ask? Replied Patty. Aren't you sad that they call you names? Asked Nari. Aren't you sad that they call you names? No, not anymore. I ignore them and tell myself things. I tell myself nice things a friend would say. Then I hum my favorite song and I feel better. The next time Zach sang his song, he added, "Go back to your country." Nari felt smaller than an ant, like no one wanted her around, like she didn't belong. Go back to your country. She didn't feel as brave as Patty. She had to get away, so she ran to the library. And the words kept echoing. Nari thought of what her mom would say if she were there. She took a deep breath and said to herself, "Nari Choi is a powerful name for a strong and brave girl." Oh. Then she added, "I love my name." And she did. Then Nari thought of what Patty had said. What would a friend say? Emily would say that her eyes came in all different shapes, sizes, and colors, she would say. "Your eyes are perfect just the way they are, Nari, and I love them." And Nari believed it. Then she said to herself, "I am Korean and American." I belong here too. Yes, you do. Nari walked out of the library with her head held high. Emily was waiting for her. "I heard what the bully Zach said to you on the playground. Are you okay?" Nari hugged Emily. "I am okay," she said. "I think I know what I need to do." The next time Zach chanted his song on the playground, Nari closed her eyes and took 3 deep breaths. Then she lifted her head, held out her palm to face Zach, and simply said, "Stop." Right now, stop. Nari's voice shook in fear as she said, "I don't like it when you make fun of my name or my eyes. It hurts my feelings." Zach smiled and crossed his arms and said, "So what?" Nari puffed out her chest and said, "So you need to stop. I won't let you call me names anymore." She couldn't believe these words were coming out of her mouth. You go, girl. Go, Nari. Before Zach could respond, Nari's teacher, Mrs. B, stepped out from behind one of the other children and mentioned to Zach to come with her. The students whispered and chuckled in excitement. Zach had bullied several kids this year, but no one had stood up to him. Emily turned to Nari and cried, "You did it," as she jumped up and down with joy. Oh. Emily was right. Nari had done it. She had stood up for herself, and Zach had gotten in big trouble and was suspended from school for a week. But why didn't she feel better? She had made him stop, but his words still left a mark. They still hurt her and made her sad. Over the next few weeks, Nari practiced what she had learned from Patty. She repeated kind words from people who loved her over and over, again and again, until one day on the swings, she said to Emily, "I've decided that Zach's words can't hurt me anymore." Emily smiled, and the two friends ran off to play. "You're strong and brave. You are loved and respected. Stand up for yourself. You belong here too." Yes, indeed you do. Oh, and that is the end of our story today. So much to unpack in this story. Probably so much than we have time for, but we're going to jump into a few things after this short break when we come back. So please join me on the other side of this very short message. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda with Amanda Wellman Photography. I'm a photographer and printmaker based in the Pacific Northwest, and I believe that your face deserves wall space. Enjoy today's story time with my favorite storyteller, Mr. LaMotta.
Welcome back, and thank you indeed for being here. Yes, your beautiful faces deserve war space. And today we were reading the Ouchiest Words. This one, brand new from Debbie Min, and illustrations by PUTRI, AYU, SEKARMENTARI. Thank you so much for joining in, and a big thank you indeed to Debbie Min for sharing this with us and allowing us to read it here on Storytime. So I am proud of Nari in here for standing up to Zach and speaking up, and may we continue to encourage our kids, to teach our children to be able to withstand things like that. And of course too, as things happen at schools, playgrounds, wherever it is, let us remember to encourage our kids as well to bring such happenings to adults that are close by, supervisors, whoever is there that can help. And of course, too, restorative justice practices. I know that in the book, it mentions that Zach is suspended, but I hope that there was a conversation that was had this is a learning opportunity for Zach too. So we must be able. I hope that there's something that would happen where we would bring the children together, or at least bring Zach and whoever else together, and have conversations and explain why the things that they were doing would be hurtful and what we can do moving forward. Come up with a plan. And so just so much as I was reading the book, thinking about it, and I hope too out there, whatever techniques that you've used at home, that you've used at the playground, that you've used at your own school when there's been cases of bullying, share them so others out there too can have an extra two in their tool bag. So thank you so much indeed for joining in. But there's opportunities for restorative justice, and this is definitely a book that we can use for these conversations. And if you're there too, even if the bullying is not happening to you, I hope that we can speak up for our friends, or indeed can show up for our friends, turn up for our friends, or indeed tell somebody. Even if it's not confronting the bully, you can still go and tell an adult, say, hey, I've seen this happening, and please help. And adults, I'm sure, will take the necessary action. But hopefully too, like there's bigger conversations to be had here, other than just sending the student away. We need to have that conversation, that restorative conversation, and hopefully moving forward, everybody gets to understand what it is. And of course, too, the people that have been hurt, hopefully that we can have this conversation, talk about it. And if you're feeling hurt, talk about it with somebody. Don't keep it inside yourself. Talk about it with somebody. You're not the only one that has gone through this. So there are other people out there that can understand your situation, that can help. And indeed, sometimes just a listening ear. Like we had Emily in this book listening to Nari. So please find that somebody that you can talk to, somebody that you trust, that you can share with, and hopefully that we feel better. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I hope that your day is a good one. I hope that you continue to shine, because you are beautiful just the way you are. Go out there, be brave in this world, be beautiful, be wonderful, be your wonderful selves. Thank you for joining in Storytime today. I just thought we should unpack some of those things that the book mentions. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime, the Ouchiest Words. So please, let's think twice before we speak. Think about what we're about to say and how that will affect others. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Glad we were here together. Let us see one more time who was here with us, joining in today and enjoying the book. Thank you for being here with us. Chad, thank you so much. I hope that you're okay. Somebody loves your reading out here. Thank you. Yes, indeed, Pamela Courtney, what an empowering story. Love it. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely appreciate it. And I know that, you have the young ones around you, and I hope that we continue to encourage them and remind them to show up turn up for ourselves, but also turn up for others as well. Thank you so much for joining in. Amanda Waltman, you say, I was bullied in elementary school and the memories stay with me to this day. This book is so awesome. I am adding it to Marlin and Beer's library. Thank you for sharing that, Amanda. And I know it happens so much. Every one of us, I'm sure, has gone through at one point or another that kid, that person that will bully us for all kinds of different reasons. And I'm glad that, you know, as you're raising your own little ones now, you have that extra insight that you're able to bring in and indeed help them have these conversations and help protect them and help indeed empower them. Thank you so much for sharing, for being vulnerable with us today. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I hope that indeed your day is a lovely one today. Thank you so much for being here. Love the part of our character having words of love from family and friends to empower her. We are important to giving our babies tools of strength. Absolutely. I love it. Just, you know, words are powerful indeed. Like Debbie Min mentions in here too, words have the power to hurt and heal. And for those of you too that, you know, if you read the Bible, you will know that it mentions in there that the tongue is powerful, and we must watch how we what we do with it. And so just constant reminders on how we should be. And also in the book that we read, of course, A Place Inside of Me, if you remember that last page, it mentions on there, right? That last page, it says, and when I look inside of me, to that place deep down inside of me, I remember to love myself most of all. So let us teach, encourage, continue to build our kids, capacity for our kids to love themselves. And indeed, so that as all these different, they're being attacked in different ways by different words and hurtful things, those things can be repelled to a certain extent. Thank you so much for joining in. And I just want to mention one more thing too. We see here, that is the thing with bullying and any form of bullying, whether it's happening at a big scale in adult world, or it's happening, you know, on the playground. The mental capacity that was required of Nari to deal with that situation, the constant worrying, the constant thinking, having to pump up herself to face the day, the constant, you know, like just having to talk to her mom, constant encouragement, feeling like she didn't want to go to school. All those things are things that happen to people who are bullied. You know, you are the one working overdrive. You're the one working overdrive to get up and face the day while the bully sits there and relaxes. So I hope that, you know, anybody out there, if you see these things happening, please speak up. If you see your own child, this is happening, please educate them, begin to talk about these issues and how those things can affect others. So just wanted to share that. There's a lot that the book brings out, and I hope that, you know, these conversations can continue in your spaces, in your communities. And please too, if you have anything else to share, please continue sharing it here with us on this thread, and we'll definitely bring back this conversation here more. Thank you indeed to Debbie Min for sharing with us, and also, you know, for all the adults out there, everybody out there that is facing any kind of bullying. We hope that, you know, you have the strength, you continue to have the strength to power through. And indeed, please talk to somebody. Don't deal with these issues on your own. Talk to somebody. Community is there for you. There is somebody out there for you that cares. And indeed, we love you and want the best for you. So I hope that indeed, as we read these books, as we talk about these issues, it reminds us of the strength that we have and how beautiful we are, and the love that is needed, not just for, you know, from outside, but of ourselves. Remember to love yourself. Remember to appreciate yourself. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. This has been Storytime for this week. This has been Storytime for today. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, a big thank you indeed to Debbie Min for sharing this empowering book with us today, The Ouchiest Words, and it is illustrated by PUTRI AYU SEKARMENTARI. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I hope that indeed you do have a lovely Friday wherever you are. Hugs from me, and thank you indeed for being here with us. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in, and happy Friday, and we'll see you again next week for more Storytime. And remember too, if you want more Storytime, please join in and find Storytime at Storytime with Mr. Limada on Facebook and YouTube, as well as storytimewithmrlimada.com. Big events coming up. Look out for them. We'll be sharing them here to show you where Storytime will be happening live, so you can be a part of us if you are close by. Thank you so much for joining in. Much love from me, and I will see you again on Monday for more Storytime. Bye-bye. And before I go, don't forget to join in at 11 to see the repeat of Chad reading the book yesterday. So we'll bring that at 11. It'll be coming up live. If you missed it, your chance to watch it again. And of course, we'll be bringing this one back at 10 o'clock, so you can catch the recording of this one again, and hopefully continue to have this empowering and most important conversation in your spaces. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for making Storytime the place to be, and indeed making Storytime the community to start your morning with. Thank you so much for being here. Much love from me. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Limada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Ooh, oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.